Hello everybody, this is a new interview here on Assembled, and today I have the honor to talk with Christopher, and I will do this together with Max. We talk about the new LEGO Speed Champion sets. So first of all, good to see you, Chris.
Good to see you again.
Last time we've met in Billund, we remember those times where we sit in person on a table and had the opportunity to chat. But this time we'll do it this way on the LEGO Recognized LEGO Fan Media Days, and we talk about the Speed Champions. And before I will ask Max to ask all the great questions about cars, last time we've met, you told me that there's going to be a new white Porsche out there, and I will show this. You have released a double pack, and this green one was included. And then we've seen this set where you can only buy the white Porsche. And yes, now, of course, I have to ask you, because I love this car. This is so great. We've seen the new cars out there, which are 8-stud white, and those guys here have 6-stud. Is it possible, from your perspective, that we might see again those smaller cars in the future, or it's something like a cut where you say, okay, this is the past, and now we only have this new 8 white cars?
Yeah, I think you've completely hit the nail on the head. So for us, the 6 wide is a closed collection. It's who we used to be, where we used to include garages and story starters and all these little accessories. Very much more of a play theme approach. But now we've kind of closed that collection, and we've started the new collection of the 8 wide, focusing purely on the cars, making them a lot more accurate, a lot more authentic. However, that doesn't mean that some of the old favorites won't be returning in a new scale with a new build experience for everybody. So, for example, with 2021, which is going to be launched in a couple of days, it'll be out, given the date of this interview. You'll see we've revisited the Ford GT in 2021. That's a complete redo of what we did previously in the 6 wide, but with a new livery and a completely new build experience. So we will revisit some of the previous best of 6 wide, let's put it that way.
This sounds good because, as you know, I have a big city here in my back, and I would love to add more cars. They are a bit wide, but the good thing is we already have seen I think all of the new cars, and Michael, a colleague of mine, has already published a review, and I will show the images, and then Max can ask all the great questions about those cars with 4 wheels. But I will show you the image of a car I love. I will buy this one on my own as well because it looks really great. And we have the Corvette, this one here, which is a great car. And this looks perfect in 8 wide scale. So this is, I think, another case that you can say in this scale, you can give more realism to the cars.
Absolutely. I think you're always going to be limited. And that's one thing that we find is that it is always going to be a Lego medium. You're always going to see fantastic representations that people make mocks at home, and obviously they don't have all of the same internal rules and guidelines and restrictions we do, so there is still a lot of challenges that we have to face. We thought going to 8 wide would give us opportunities that 6 wide didn't, so it would allow for new types of vehicles. It would allow us to capture details more accurate. We thought that it would allow us to decorate more and sticker less and all these different things. But actually the challenges have increased, because when we raised the bar to the 8 wide in terms of the aesthetics, we raised the bar in terms of how we push ourselves and the level of detail that we expect from these vehicles, which then has meant that we've actually then challenged ourselves even more. So we think that what we're delivering looks a lot more accurate, a lot more close to the real reference. But we've definitely raised the bar in terms of challenging ourselves as well, which is, we were a little bit 50-50 on when we decided to go this way. We were a bit surprised by how challenging it became.
So again, I love most of the new cars, even I don't know much about them. So I head over to Max. Max, you've seen the whole lineup. Which one is your favorite car?
Oh, I think I really like the McLaren Elva. I also got this little polybag which released previously this year. And I think it just looks awesome. All these nice slopes and everything works out fine. And I'm looking forward on buying this car, and I'm very happy with it. And yeah, I just built this little speed champion. It's a 6 wide. I bought a few days ago, and I really liked it. So I'm very new to the topic, but I'm a big fan. As you can see, I have my modulars built up behind me, and I really like to display them in front of the houses. And yeah, I've got a little question also on the little Porsche. I really like the build. And I'm not quite sure if you said it, but in a previous interview with the Speed Champions team, somebody said that you use the clear backed stickers on the Porsche to give fans the opportunity to mock them in the color they wanted to.
Yes.
And are there any plans? I know you can't talk about the future, but are there any plans on including more of these clear backed stickers to give fans the opportunity?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was a good catch. That I was the one who said that, and that is. With Speed Champions, there's a lot of little things like that we do spend time thinking about, and it's a really good catch on your behalf, because we do want to do that, especially with icons. So we did that with the Porsche 911. That was our first test, let's put it that way, because we had seen we do listen to you guys online. I spent hours going through all of the online reviews, videos, and the online comment sections, and some of them's funny, some of them's really educational for us in terms of what it is that you guys really pay attention to. And one of the things that we saw, and I noticed on there, was that a lot of people said they loved when we did the Porsche 911 in the lime green. They just weren't necessarily the biggest fans of the lime green. One person wanted it in black, one person wanted it in dark gray, one in red. So when they had the opportunity to do the Porsche again in the white, that was when we started saying, okay, let's not limit it because of the stickers. We know that we're going to have a lot of stickers given the nature of Speed Champions, and we can't decorate everything. But therefore, let's make the stickers transparent where possible so that you can recreate the Porsche 911 in white, blue, green, red, whatever. And when we did the Porsche 911, I think I still have it behind my desk, we made it in about 6 different colors, basically to say, okay, which is the best color we can do, and do the transparent stickers work for all of these? To answer your curiosity, we've done that again this year with 2 of our cars for 2021, which is the Dodge Challenger in the purple and in the plum crazy purple. Those are transparent stickers so that you can redo it in the lime green or the bright yellow if you want to, or the orange. Those are very famous, popular colors. Also with the, which you mentioned yourself and you see on screen, the Corvette dark red. Both with the purple and the dark red, 2 brand new colors for Speed Champions. That's also another thing we think about in terms of small details. But if you're not the biggest fan of dark red and you want your Corvette the same as your dad had, in maybe in black or in one of them we looked at was burnt orange, which is like that kind of darker orangey color, light brown kind of color. If that's what you want to rebuild at home to really match your individual version, then the stickers will allow you to do that. So that is something we really want to have that opportunity to our collectors, because we are aware that out there people are collecting these and having a big line up on a shelf. So maybe you don't need to have just the Corvette we give you. Maybe you can buy it, follow the instructions, get the stickers, and make your version. Or if you're just a Corvette fan or a Porsche 911 fan, you can build 6 of them in a row next to each other in different colors. So we want our collectors to be in charge of the collection they're creating. So.
Yeah, thanks for the answer. That sounds very, very good. And I'm looking forward on mocking my own cars. So I'm very fixed on, and I really like the Speed Champions. And another thing that I saw in the beginning of the year was that Lego Marvel released a Dodge Charger from the Ghost Rider. And was your team aware of that? So you released, I think, a year ago also a Dodge Charger. So are there any collaborations with other teams, and are you designing also cars for other teams? Like it's a fact that the Ghost Rider has a Dodge Charger, so I think Lego Marvel didn't wanted to copy your car or something like this. So are there any collaborations, or is there an exchange with other designers?
No, absolutely not. When I found out about it, that designer was just no. We're all in collaboration. We're one big team at Lego. So we're all sitting in one big building, which I'm in right now. All of the different projects basically next to each other, as if we're just in one big office room type of thing, one big playground. Very aware of it. I mean, I'm a big Marvel fan myself. If you do Ghost Rider, especially with the Robbie Reyes character, you have to do that vehicle. And the fact that we've moved away from the 6-wide collection and that scale, that allows these opportunities to present themselves in these other projects. So the fact that we've moved away from that, and the fact that we were doing a challenge and not a charger, and all these little details, they might seem small details, but they're in a kid's world, they're huge differences. So we feel it's big enough of a difference, and we feel that it's been long enough since when we did our Speed Champions Charger for Fast and Furious style drag race. It's a big enough time. With the children buying it today, it'll be brand new. They might not have bought the Speed Champions several years ago. So the kids who might be a big Challenger or Charger fan who can no longer get that Speed Champions version, well, now there's a version for them, and it comes with a super cool character, and it comes with flames and all this accessories. It's a completely different offering. But if you want to, you can remove the flames and you can play with it in your Lego City. You can play with it with your Speed Champions collection. So there's a lot of benefits where it can kind of cross into different projects and play themes. So
I would love to show you 2 more images, because Michael did 2 reviews already. So we've seen images, and now I will show you the Ford. And maybe you can talk a little bit about those 2 cars. So we have this kind of Land Rover stylish car and the speed car. I would say, I'm a big car fan, you know me, but this looks really great, and especially the colors. So maybe you can tell us, how many colors have you tried before you came to this final solution here? Here we go. We have the 2 cars. All right.
Yeah. So this SKU was last year when we did Fan Media Day, we showed all of the new stuff to everybody, and this was one product that we never talked about with anybody, because at the time it was still an early concept, an early idea that we were working on. This was so I designed the Bronco myself, and the GT was my partner in crime, Søren Duhoin, who you might have seen from Lego Masters Denmark. We're basically the 2 guys on Speed Champions every year. So this time we said, okay, we'll take 1 car each and we'll do this. The color palette was from day one. From day one, when I was putting this concept together and pitching it to Ford, we knew, talking with Ford, that their biggest story and their biggest interest internally at Ford was the Bronco. And compared to maybe the old traditional Bronco, that was a bit harder to find how to fit that into Speed Champions. With the racing twist of the Bronco, it made perfect sense for Speed Champions. Giving 2 of the big things that I've been focusing on is new types of vehicles, and then a very new building experience. So from that aspect, it ticked a lot of boxes for us. But we wanted to really team that up with something, and there was a lot of options on the table as usual, but we thought that was the perfect opportunity for us to test revisiting a previous 6-wide vehicle in the 8-wide scale to really, communicate with those last few fans online who were still so connected to the 6-wide, for us to communicate the benefits of that that evolution into the 8 wide. So that allowed us to do that, where we can revisit old cars, but in a vastly different way. But I didn't want us to just revisit the same color palette and just to redo the same car in a different size, because then it's too close. Nobody wants that in their collection. So this we saw as an opportunity to really try something new. And I really was pushing for Gulf. That is something that you can be a Ferrari fan, you can be a Ford fan, you can be a Porsche fan, you could be a Gulf fan. And now it's really rare that a color palette on a car is so iconic as Gulf. And this was just the perfect opportunity for that. So that's why we really thought, okay, you're getting a car that we've done that was really popular in the new scale. You're getting it in a color that people's asked for many of our previous vehicles in the Gulf livery. So for us, it just ticked a lot of boxes, but it also tried a lot of new things. We don't want to just repeat ourselves. And if we do, we need to really dial it a lot, so it's not just a rinse and repeat. So the color palette was from a day one, if we do this car, it has to be those colors. So
yes, I really love the set. I really like the new colors, and I'm a big fan of not doing everything in black or in white. So I think it's just a bit more diverse, and I think it looks very good on display if you have all the colors and not everything in black or white. So I really appreciate it.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you two questions, actually?
Of course.
How do you feel about decorated headlights on the GT? Would you like to see more decorated headlights? Or do you guys love stickers?
So I'm not the biggest fan of stickers, so I know that you sometimes have to do it, but I really prefer decorated parts, and I really like them. So I think especially on these lights, it looks very good. It gives them a special look, and it's something special if they are decorated. So it's not just like in every city car, and I think I like it a bit more. And I think it gives the Speed Champions this very special character, and it makes me suspicious on building them, because everywhere is a little more detailed than on the city cars, because I think many adults collect Speed Champions because they really like the cars and they want to display them. And I think that's the difference to city. I think there are also adult city collectors, but I think city is a theme which is primarily designed for children to play with. I know there are also a lot of children who are playing with Speed Champion, like my little cousin who loves every Speed Champion. He wants to collect everything. And but I think especially for adults, these little details are very good. And I would like to see them more in the future.
But Chris, may I ask, before you ask your second question, and you have one more, do you like stickers? Personally, if it comes to stickers, do you like stickers, or is this always the kind of second choice when it comes to those decisions?
I think it's a 50-50 answer, to be completely honest. It depends on your stance, because the benefits I see with stickers is that if you want to use Lego purely for imagination, so you build it because you like the Ferrari and then you want to build it into a wacky spaceship or whatever. Lego is limitless when it comes to what you can do with it. Then I think stickers is the way to go, because as soon as you put a decoration, it becomes very specific. However, because we are doing IPs and because we're building something very specific, I can definitely see the benefits of decorating, because you can get those details really accurate. You don't plan to be rebuilding. So it depends. The challenge we have with Speed Champions is that the kids who do rebuild, kids tend to rebuild more than adults to some extent, we've got a large audience of kids. And then we also have a large audience of adults who build to display. So that's why we couldn't go fully decoration, because then we would be limiting one of those two audiences, basically. Plus also, given the number of stickers that we do on Speed Champions, because a race car in real life is covered in, like if you look at NASCAR, it's covered in stickers, or F1, it's stickers everywhere. It would be unfeasible to decorate all of that. You would have like every car would have 67 unique element decorated pieces. It'd be off the chain. So I think we've got to think practicality as well. And that's kind of a third perspective, is we've got kids who want to rebuild, we've got adults who want to display, and then we've got what can we actually achieve internally. And
yeah, just
a cocktail of those three things, to be honest.
Okay, sounds totally fine from your side, but how to put a sticker on a car? I mean, is there any trick you can give us away to really? I mean, this is always, for example, here I just built the car. There's no sticker on it. I just built the car this way. Here I add those stickers, and it's always tricky. And I always think, oh my goodness, it's wrong. It's not fit perfectly. So, is there any trick from your side how to handle the stickers?
The first thing I would say is, which I've seen some people do online, and they do it online and then they complain that it doesn't line up quite right. And I've seen a lot of people line the edge of a sticker with the edge of an element. That's not the way the stickers are designed. The sticker is designed to be in the center of an element. So it comes down to personal preference, because I know some people really want to put it at the edge. We recommend that you don't. We recommend you put it in the center. That would be my tip number one, if you want all of the line work and everything to line up. Tip number two is internally, we tend to, depending on how specific we want the stickers to be placed, we tend to use like a little pair of pliers or the edge of a tile or something like that to do it, because it's a smaller surface than your fingertip. It'll be easier for children because obviously their hands are small, but when it comes to us, it's easier to have the sticker on the end of a Lego piece or something like that. Maybe use the corner of a brick separator, for example.
I'm using the sheet, the sticker sheet. So I put the sticker there, and then it's. But there was one more question you would love to ask Max.
Yeah.
I was just curious, just because we were talking about the Ford SKU in particular. I've seen a lot of people comment about when we did the Ford Raptor, which was one I designed actually in the past. We had it suspension, same with the Mini, which actually Søren Duhøjen again designed for us in 2019. They both had suspension. And now with the Ford Bronco, we consciously chose not to have suspension because we focus more on the authenticity of the vehicle. And that when you add the suspension, it tends to pull the wheels down so that you push on it for the wheels to go the way it needs to go. Just a curiosity question. Do you guys prefer the accuracy or do you prefer the suspension?
Oh, that's a good question. I think both aspects have good sides, but I think for me as a collector, the accuracy is a bit more important, but that's just my opinion because I display them in front of my modulars, and
of course.
I like when they're accurate, when somebody is coming into the room and says, "Oh, I know this car, and that's this and that." So but I think both have good sides, and I think you shouldn't go all the way with the whole wave. You should go maybe on one model with the one aspect, on the other model with the other aspect. So that's not just all the same. So every model has something special, and I think that's the way to go, and that's why I enjoy looking at all these speed champions. So I think I'll buy a lot of them, and yeah.
So we're running out of time, but there's one last question from my side and one last question from Max here. It was so good to see you again, Chris. Which one is your favorite car of the new lineup?
Oh, that's a tough question. I have
it is.
There's details I like on all of them, to be completely honest. Oh, that's a tough question.
I know you don't have one favorite child, but which one? I mean, if we have to pick one car for this afternoon, which one would it be? Which one would you love to build?
Oh, I'm leaning towards either the from a build experience. I would probably push towards the dragster, the Dodge Dragster, because it is so different, and a lot of people look at it and they say, "Oh, it's a dragster." End of story. The build underneath the hood on that is fantastic. The whole build you would think is just built long and stacking. It's actually the model is built vertically stacking, very tall and thin. And I think for anybody who buys it and builds it and things, it's a very different build offering due to 2 brand new elements that were created than anything we've ever done before in Speed Champions, but anything I've seen in Lego vehicles. So from a build experience, I would lean towards that, or secondly, maybe the Ford Bronco, which I'm a bit biased because I worked on that, but it's just so different to what we normally do in Speed Champions.
Max, and now a yes or no question. We are running out of time. I'm really sorry. Yes or no question. Go for it.
I also wanted to ask the same question as you. Maybe a personal question. What's your favorite Lego theme besides Speed Champions?
That would be Lego Bionicle. But the first wave of Lego Bionicle. If we're talking about Lego theme ever, it would be the first wave of Lego Bionicle, and the reason for that is I was the right age at the time. I think the first lineup of heroes and villains, also the second wave where they brought in the Borok, was fantastic. But specifically, as a industrial designer myself, the packaging design for the first wave with the canisters that you rotate the outer sticker on the packaging to see all of the different characters and their environments and everything, I think that was phenomenal piece of packaging design, as well as telling the story and everything. So that
Chris,
would be
we could talk for hours, but there are others to come. Chris, it was so good to see you again. Thank you, Max, for being here and asking all the good questions. Give our best wishes to all your colleagues, Chris, and I hope to see you in person next year. Take care and see you around.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks a lot. Goodbye.
Bye.